My manga journey has officially started, and I know what you're thinking. Tracy, you make all this anime content. How have you never read a single manga? And my response to you is this: shut up. Mind your business. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously though, I have grown up watching anime. I've been watching anime since I was like 7 or 8 years old. Started off with Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, then segued into Naruto, and then I just explored anime from there, honestly. And I've been watching anime ever since. But I never really got into reading the actual manga. The only manga that I have read was for animes that I was already watching. I caught up to them, and I really wanted to know what was going to happen next. So then I picked up the manga, such as One Piece, even JJK. I'm currently reading that right now, just because I can't wait and I want to know what happens next. This right here though is the first manga that I started, and I haven't seen the anime. The anime is not even out yet. It doesn't come out until April, which I'm so excited for. But this is going to be my first review of a manga. Let's start with Kaiju number 8. Let's get it. Now, as I said before, this is the first manga that I've ever read with zero knowledge going into it. I just went into it blind and off of a recommendation of a friend of mine. Shout out that man God's Will from Viz Media. You really hooked me up with this one. Before I even say anything about the manga, I just want to let y'all know how long it took me to read 103 chapters, which is currently how many chapters of this manga is out. I read 103 chapters in 4 days, y'all. And I know what you're gonna say: Tracy, I can read 103 chapters in 1 day. Well, look, I got things to do, all right? I got things to do, other things outside of reading, but I will say that I read 78 chapters in one of those days. So that kind of contradicts what I just said. This manga is gas. If you're somebody like me who's been an anime only for the longest time and you're looking to get into manga, I would not recommend any other manga outside of Kaiju number 8. Although I'm sure there's a lot of people that'll be in the comment section that have read many more manga than I have that'll say this manga is good to start with, this one's good, this one's better. For me, personally, Kaiju number 8, this was the perfect starter manga for me, and let me tell you why. Now, I'm not gonna dive crazy into spoiling this manga for people, because like I said, I read 103 chapters of it, and I know that there's people that are watching this video that are thinking about picking up this manga, so I'm just gonna give you information that you learn early on in it during this review. So let's get into it. In the world of Kaiju number 8, Japan is overrun with these beasts called Kaiju that pretty much eat and kill human beings. It'll kind of remind you of Titans from Attack on Titan or Cursed Spirits from JJK, because these kaijus all have different grade levels, except they're not called grades, they're called fortitude, and the fortitude levels go from fortitude level 1 to fortitude level 10. Pretty much anything over a fortitude level 6 is a major threat. But that's why they have the defense force. Now, the defense force is pretty self-explanatory. It's the only line of defense that the world has against kaiju. They're the only ones that can fight them, kill them, or neutralize them, as they say in the manga. And that brings me to our main character, Kafka, who is hell-bent on joining the defense force and ridding the entire world of kaiju, which kind of reminds you of somebody, maybe somebody who decided to step on 80% of the world. I'm just saying. Anyway, Kafka Hibino, a man who is in his 30s and has failed the defense force test so many times that he is on his final strike and only has one shot left to get into the defense force. And yes, he is in his 30s. This personally excited me so much because I'm like, oh, we finally get an adult protagonist. This is dope. I like this. And because he has failed the defense force test so many times, he decided to pick up a job where he has to dissect and clean up kaiju after they are neutralized. I mean, he has to go inside of their bodies, pick out their organs, clean them out. It's absolutely disgusting. But while he is on his daily job, another young man gets hired who is also hell-bent on joining the defense force, and he's gonna kind of remind you of like a Sasuke Uchiha, Killua type of attitude. You're gonna like him a lot. I love him. His name is Rino Ichikawa. Now, while Rino and Kafka are on a job by themselves, out of the blue, a kaiju pops up behind Rino and is about to attack him, and then we see our main character using his main character energy and that hero complex that we all know and love, and he jumps and pushes Rino out of the way of the kaiju attack. Kafka then tells Rino to run away, save himself, and then he is forced to face off against the kaiju by himself. Now keep in mind, this man does not know how to fight kaiju at all. All he does is clean them up, dissect them. He has zero weapons to fight this thing off, but he does. He fails, he almost dies, and then Rino comes back and decides to save him. And now they're both fighting off against the kaiju. They're both about to die, then out of nowhere, blow! Gunshot to the head, kaiju dead. That's right, we get a little bit of that main character plot armor early on in the series. Right as Kafka and Reno are about to die and they're facing certain death, a big gaping hole is now in the kaiju's head. The kaiju is officially neutralized, and we see that that hole is caused by none other than Kafka's childhood friend, who is now a... You gotta read the manga if you want to find out the rest. If you want to find out how Kafka and Reno survive, who this mystery friend is, how Kafka joins the defense force, and how Kafka becomes a kaiju himself, you gotta pick this manga up and you gotta read it. It's a banger, 10 out of 10 story, 10 out of 10 characters. It's amazing. If you're not impressed by chapter 5, then I don't know, but give it a shot. I would highly recommend this manga. Now, if you want to wait for the anime to come out, the anime does come out next month in April, but I'm personally excited about this because I've never experienced that thing where people always say the manga is better than the anime. So many people told me that with like Demon Slayer and JJK, but I personally always just read the anime and then read the manga if I wanted to continue from where the anime left off. This will be my first time watching the anime for a manga that I've already read. So now I'll finally get to see if I feel like, oh, the manga is actually better than the anime, or the anime is not doing it justice and stuff. I finally get to experience that and see what that's like for the first time. So I'm really, really excited about it. But again, if you want to wait, the anime comes out in April. Now, I know I said that I just started my manga journey, but I do want to say an honorable mention that I also started right after getting past chapter 103 of Kaiju number 8, and that manga is Dandadan. I hope I'm saying that right. I think I am. Dandadan. It's crazy, y'all. Dandadan is another manga that I'm incredibly excited about right now because the anime just got announced for it. It's going to be coming out later on this year, but I read 32 chapters of this manga in one day. That should tell you something. I really, really love this. I'm a big sucker for romance, but a romance that has comedy, action, and adventure in it. Like, it's got everything, y'all. It really, really does. This manga's got incredible characters and character designs, a compelling story. I can already tell that the action scenes in this manga are gonna be fire, especially when they get animated. I mean, if you read 5 chapters of this manga and it doesn't grab you by the banana organs, then I don't know. And you'll only get that reference if you've actually read the manga. This manga is also 18 plus, by the way. Just a fair warning. Fair warning. But look, that's it for this manga review. If you have more manga that you think that I should get into, that you think that I would enjoy, please comment down below. I really do want to expand my manga knowledge and read more. Yeah, so please let me know. I don't know anything. Also, this video is not sponsored by Viz Media, but I do want to give a shout out to them for sending me 7 volumes of Kaiju number 8. I really appreciate it. They absolutely didn't have to do that, but they did bless me with it because they saw that I was reading it, and I think that that's really genuine and freaking awesome. So hey, thank you, Viz Media. I appreciate it. Now, if you want to talk with me live about manga or other things, I do live stream on Twitch 4 to 5 days a week at I'm Tracy Allen. It's the same as my YouTube name. I also have an Instagram and a TikTok that is also named the same thing as my YouTube. Yeah, so typical YouTube outro right there. Drop a like, comment, and thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.